Come with me as I travel to New York City to celebrate my weight loss journey. For those of you that have followed me for some time, you know that over the past 5 years, I've been on an incredible fitness and weight loss journey. I've lost over 80 pounds in the past 5 years since I've given birth to my last child 5 years ago. I've struggled with weight my entire life, and being a physician that specializes in brain and spine health, I found it to be incredibly important to practice what I preach to my patients every single day. Since I've struggled with body image, I've never really felt comfortable to get this tattoo that I've wanted forever. But today is the day that all that's going to change. We left my house at about 4:30 a.m. to catch a flight to New York at 6:30 a.m. My appointment at Bang Bang Tattoo in New York City was at noon. I did a FaceTime appointment with my artist about 2 months ago for planning. After that appointment, he got some ideas together and we sat down for about 3 hours to design the tattoo. Being a neurosurgeon, I am completely obsessed with the brain and spine anatomy. I wanted this tattoo to be completely beautiful and anatomically correct, and I wanted it to be big enough to respect its beauty. First things first was aligning the design on the skin and where I wanted it on my body. After a few placements, we got it right, and then he began the design. The first part was the outline, and this actually wasn't too painful. I had a 2-day session planned because we knew that this was going to take some time. The rest of day one was finishing up the skull and the brain. The real pain began once the shading began. Day one ended at 9 p.m. and I came back to the hotel and crashed, and we had some New York pizza. We stashed the leftovers in the fridge and I had them the next morning for breakfast as well. Let me tell you, January in New York is no joke, and I actually saw snow. We don't see snow that much in Georgia, and it's beautiful. My second session was starting at 1 p.m. the very following day. If I had to go back and do it again, I probably would have spread a piece this big out over a couple of sessions. But the experience was 10 out of 10. The place had everything that you could possibly imagine: food, drinks, snacks, all at your leisure during breaks. This is the view of the area downstairs. And this is the view from my point of view for 11 hours straight while I got tattooed. Along on this trip, I brought my husband because he literally comes everywhere with me, my best friend who is my social media manager, and my friend and physician assistant, Jess. I needed someone there that can appreciate human anatomy to make sure that he was doing it right while he was tattooing. After 11 hours straight, here's the final results. I could not be happier with a more beautiful piece to represent who I am and my love of the brain and spine. Months of planning, hours of design, and hours of pain were totally worth it. I could not have imagined it turning out any better than this. Even though the pain was incredible, I have a feeling this is going to be like childbirth. In a few years, I'm going to totally forget how painful it was and come back to do it again. Also, during this journey, I realized that tattooing is very much like surgery. People put their trust in your hands to change their body forever, and that trust should not be taken lightly. The second day we got done at about 9 p.m. as well, and I went back to the hotel and crashed because I really couldn't even function. I think the entire experience was incredibly overwhelming. We were flying back the following afternoon, so what way to better celebrate than by altering my body again and getting another piercing? I treated myself to my first designer bag, we boarded the plane, and all headed back to Atlanta. We were only there for 3 days, but the entire experience I'll remember forever. This has truly been a self-healing journey. I think it's important to sit back every once in a while and reflect internally and do those things that you've been wanting to do, because you know what? We only get one chance on this lifetime to be able to have those experiences, and I don't want to live with any regrets. Life can change in an instant, and you never know when that's going to happen.